Hello everyone, welcome to TubeBuddy Thursday. Are you guys hearing quite a bit of ringing in your ears? I don't know what that's from. Let's see. I'll try and find what that is. First of all, let me know if you can hear that, because if it's just me, then I'll stop worrying about it. But if you also hear it, you let me know if you are hearing that weird buzzing sound. Also, I don't even know if the intro was playing because it was completely frozen on my end. I don't know if that was happening for y'all or not. Is there something interfering with it? Is that better? Ooh, is that better? I think I found out what it was. Is that better? Can't hear it? Oh, okay, then it's just me. All right. Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome. I figured today might be a fun day to do a kind of a Q&A and also maybe check in with some of my channel members, kind of maybe do some channel reviews, especially for y'all. So yeah, let's chat about that. I'm just gonna move this because I still hear the buzzing, but I'm so glad to hear that y'all are not hearing it, but it's in my ear, I'll tell you that. So let's start with the most important question of the night, which is going to be, of course, what's in your cup? So today I have this fun one that says, you're on mute. And this is representing my Ecamm fam. Ecamm is, of course, what I use to stream every week and go live on YouTube and Facebook and all the other places that I go live to. So I don't know how. I think Katie gave me this one when I saw her at the People of Video conference that was in New York at the time. And that was put on by Dan Courier of Creator Fundamentals. So I went over there and I believe that's where I got that mug. Also, what's inside of the cup, because the cup itself is cool, but what's inside of the cup is the Pike Place Market Spice Market tea. So rockin' a classic there. Of course, what's in your cup today, people? So Adam's Exploits Poland Springs water, coffee cold brew type of situation for Pixelpia, maybe? So let's go in. Since there's just a couple of us, let's see what questions you have that we can go over together. Also, I was just filming a little bit about this Shure microphone system. I know I've done a short on it already, 2 shorts on it. One was the unboxing, I think, and 2 was the mic test comparison between this and the DJI wireless mic down at the Seattle waterfront. So I have done a couple of them. So I just filmed what is, I think, going to be a short video. We'll see. Yes, they are different, but you know what I mean. About how you can actually, I'll just spoil it right here. You can take this little Move Mic 2 with the 2 different mics in it, and technically you can hook up one to like 2 different phones. So you can operate them independently. So the little mics that are in here like this, you can hook one up to one phone and one up to another phone because it's Bluetooth. And so you can go through a couple of steps and do that and be on your way. So I don't know if Shure is going to share that with you because, right, they sell these individual kits that have 1 or 2 mics in them, or they have a kit that has 2 mics and a little receiver. So you can add in the additional thing, like if you want to use it with your laptop or if you want to use it with your camera, something like that, you have to have this separate little transponder thing. And yeah, I know I said it how I said it. Okay, it was for funds. And I don't know if they're going to come out and tell you that you can just use this little kit that has 2 for 2 separate devices, because why, when they could sell you the illusion that they could sell you 2 mics? You know what I'm saying? But it's an interesting question that you have. And in fact, I am doing a longer video on this mic because I do want to chat about it. And I figure one of the things I can do is talk about, you know, equipment and gear that I'm using that is as I'm making content, because it can help other people make content too. But let's see if I have it over here. Maybe I don't have it in this room. It's charging in another room. But to answer your question, some of the differences between this and the DJI mic, I have the first version of the DJI wireless mics with the 2 receivers and the transmitter, right? And this. So a couple of things that I like about the Shure, and I'll just say this right now, is that they're so small and lightweight. So small. So, I mean, if you see it in comparison to the the DJI ones. These are like a third of the weight, and have like really good battery life. This packs up really small, whereas the DJI, you have to have like all these additional accessories and stuff a lot of the time. But the DJI, you don't have to buy the separate, like in Shure's world, you have to buy like a separate $150, maybe it's $200, separate little receiver for this, like I said, to hook up to your DSLR or mirrorless camera or whatever else, and to hook up to your computer. Whereas with the DJI, it has all the different connectors already included. You don't have to do and buy additional gear. So that's one thing right there going for it. Additionally is if you are using, I'm just giving you all the talking points of the video right now, might as well, okay? It's not pretty. It's just, I have done nothing to it. So I let it air dry, and then like I had it up in a ponytail and then I put it down. So no, nothing. I've done nothing to it. Although that's a lie. I did give myself a little self trim in the front for some of the layers, watching a tutorial from YouTube. So that was kind of fun. And it was from a girl that I got to help intro as her MC. She was on panel at Vid Summit. So I started watching some of her stuff. And so I thought it was cute. She's like, here's how you trim your hair at home. And I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it. So I followed that tutorial. I should tell her that I did that. Another thing that I like though about the DJI wireless mic is that it has internal recording on it. So if you do lose line of sight with, your connection, it does have like a pretty far distance that you can cover, but it also, you can record internally. So in that microphone comparison test, I actually recorded internally on the mic with the DJI, and then I hooked up the Shure mic to the phone as my second item. And so I like that you can record internally, and you don't even have to record video. You can just press record on it as well, which is nice. It also, because the Shure mics, they don't have the ability to record internally. So that's one of the reasons also why they're so lightweight, is because there's no none of that, which means you can't hook up these individually to your computer and pull off like audio files, nothing like that. So you don't get to do that. Additionally, there's a new version of the DJI wireless mic, which does include Bluetooth capabilities, but it also includes the ability to do a little adapter. It's like a $35 adapter that you can then put into the cold shoe or little Sony camera like mount. And there are some microphones that Sony sells that, as long as you slide it into their like smart dock connector type thing, their little cold shoe thing at top, it can talk to the camera internally. They've built in some sort of mechanism that it recognizes it, and it can talk to the camera, and you don't have to have the separate 3.5mm audio cable running out of the little transmitter thing and into the audio in jack of your camera, which may not seem like that big of a deal, like, oh, it's an extra cable, but it's an extra cable that you don't have to carry. And if you have like this flip screen that's happening, sometimes you're trying to play this like weird Jenga game of like, how do I flip open the screen but like not like knock out the audio cable? It's just kind of like a mess. So it takes that away, and you can carry less gear, less cables, less things to like mess up, which is actually kind of cool. But you can only do that on the new version of the DJI wireless mic, which I don't have, which is why I was thinking about selling the original DJI wireless mic and then getting the version 2. But then we talked about gear acquisition syndrome and stuff like that, right? We talked about it. Terry and Scotland, and technically Tia in the house. Thank you so much for both showing up. Oh my gosh. Wow. Terry is my buddy, and he shows up, and he just recently had his birthday. So y'all can say happy belated birthday to him. Just recently had his, I don't want to say what number unless you want to share it. I'm not going to out your age there, but Terry's my buddy, and he hangs out with me every Sunday for Sad Song Sunday, and has recently become a Swiftie, and so does not mind whatsoever that I just play like 2.5 hours worth of Taylor Swift songs on Sundays. And he's like, yeah, give me more. I like it. So Terry has been a good friend of mine for many, many years. So say hi to, say hi to Terry. We love Terry over there. And Terry's a big streamer over on Twitch. So if you're into things like riding on a bus that goes like all around the land and then like stops and you can see like that, or like streaming shows like Orphan Black, which was a personal favorite of mine. You can check out Terry over on Twitch too. And I saw technically T in the house. How are you? You know, I gotta say, your backdrop and everything always looks so fresh and so clean. So fresh and so clean. When I see you over there on your channel, you know, with like that blue and the sign and the neon and the little, you know, YouTube play button, I'm just like, oh, T's looking good, man. T, your setup's looking good. Saw your latest video though with the little magnetic, you know, like the MagSafe thing. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. You're always listening? Aw, creeper. I love it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, dude. So, Adam, to kind of finish out that, there are reasons that I actually really like the DJI, including it comes with the little adapters, one for the lightning port, one for the USB-C, and the, almost spilled my tea, y'all. Almost spilled my tea, and it's like boiling hot water. I would have like, you know, like, been bad news bears. But, so I like the internal recording, and I like the little wind muff. It's a little bit better than the wind. You know what? Shout out to Viper, because Viper recently just like an hour ago, when I say recently, commented on this video where I was doing the microphone comparison between the DJI and the Shure mic down at the Seattle waterfront. And I was like, wow, I'm really surprised that like so many people are saying, I really like the sound of the Shure. And I'm like, yeah, it does sound like brighter, but because it doesn't have as powerful as a windscreen, the DJI was like, I thought, kicking its butt. And you can always make it louder by either increasing the gain on the transmitter or the receiver or in post. But the Shure, I thought sound like you could hear the wind so much, but I don't know if just the compression is weird and it doesn't quite translate. But when I was listening to it in Final Cut Pro and playing it back, I was like, oh wow, like clear as day. I would be if it was windy, I would be all over the DJI versus the other. Plus, I really love those necklace mounts that you can stick that microphone onto. I just think that's so much better than clipping it onto your shirt and having your shirt collar like sag and stuff. And so last week, I don't know if I told you all, but I was filling in for our coach who was gone. And so I actually taught 3 different days worth of lessons last week for my dance team that I'm on. And I wear that little necklace, the Insta360 Go for the 3rd version one, necklace mount. And I like that sucker is a little thicker than the Necklace 2 plate, but it is like the suction thing is like so much stronger. Not suction, but magnet. And so even if I'm like spinning around and like jumping about and like it is so much stronger. It's so much better. And in fact, my friend Jessica Stansberry just put out a video about like equipment I would buy if I was a brand new YouTuber. And she actually recommended the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is still on my list. Keely, if you're out there, I sold one of the Peter McKinnon backpacks. I just got to sell 2 more Peter McKinnon backpacks, and then I'll be able to also buy the DJI Pocket 3 with the Creator combo kit. But she was recommending that combo that comes with the Bluetooth mic and everything. And I was like, girl. And she was actually talking about the how she didn't like how it pulled on collar and stuff, but it was still worth it because it sounds so good. So I was telling her about the necklace plate. She's like, you know what? I think I have one of those because I just sold that camera and I think I had that necklace plate and I couldn't find it at the time when I sold it. And now I have it. And I'm like, break it out, try it. Like you put the necklace plate underneath your shirt, then you put the microphone over your shirt, and that sucker is going nowhere and it's not pulling at your clothes. I have a YouTube short about that. I've been talking about that thing for what, years/months now. Really, like it's such a good like $10 accessory add-on that just makes it so much better. So, okay. Oh, okay. Terry, he shared it. He spilled the beans on his age. So Terry just turned 70, y'all. So he just turned 70. Okay. So let's chat a little bit. Did that answer your question about the microphones? I really like the size of the Shure and the simplicity kind of it, but there are limitations that I don't like about the Shure, about how like right now I cannot for the life of me get it to connect, not just to my Facebook page, but to like a profile or a group, which is what I would need because to use it while live streaming, you have to connect to either YouTube, RTMP, or the Facebook through the Shure Motive Video app. Make it make sense. I don't know why we have to do that. You shouldn't have to. If you're recording video, you're also supposed to record inside of the Shure Motive app. I don't know why we need to do that. I don't think we should have to. But anyways, I cannot get it past a certain amount of steps to get into the Facebook page. So right now it's unusable in that way for me. So, and also, I don't know technically, T, if you're still in the house, but can we just complain about something real quick on phones? I have discovered that if you have a Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I think it was that way maybe even on the other one. By the way, I do really love this case, but remember that case that you gave me in your giveaway, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra case, or maybe it was the S23 Ultra case, right? Because these phones are slightly different sizes, slightly, I couldn't use that case, but I really like that design that I had picked out, and it reminded me of you. So I got the sticker version of it because it was also cheaper, and I just think it looks cool, but it reminds me of that case that you, Andy Rand, gave to me. So I did this as a little nod to that, but then I put this clear plastic case on it so you can see it. But this always reminds me actually of you when I when I use it. But if you use the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and you try to stream to Facebook, Facebook will not allow you to do it horizontally. They will only allow you to do it in portrait or vertical mode. So if you try and turn the phone, it will say, you know, your phone does not support like landscape mode. Rotate your phone for best experience. And I was like, how is that the best experience? How is it that, how is it in this day and age, I can't live stream off of Facebook in a landscape mode? Like, excuse me, what? Like, make it make sense, because I don't understand it. Like, what is going on with Samsung or Facebook that they can't get their ducks in a row? That seems like a big deal, okay? I don't understand that, okay? Have I ever tried putting the Insta360 Go? I don't actually have an Insta360 Go. I just have the necklace plate for it because it works really well for the microphone. I know. I think that would be really fun. Although it would just be them napping. I mean, Cooper's a lazy dog. So you might have better luck with Casey. But yeah, I just thought that was weird. Such a weird experience. And so I learned that because when I go to like dance practice, I have one phone that is like live streaming the practice for the people who are watching virtually and whatnot at home. And then we have another phone that we use for live streaming on TikTok. So we let TikTok in on the practices. And so there's only specific devices that I can use for each thing. Also, because TikTok is not supported in here and it's only Facebook, which doesn't even work, or YouTube, it really limits how I can use the Shure microphone, even if I wanted to use it. So that's why I'm just like, oh my gosh, not only is the DJI cheaper, works in more different ways, has internal recording, like for me, I was like, I can't necessarily say that I'm going to go out and recommend that people buy this one because it's so much more expensive and it does less stuff. Unless you know you're only ever going to record clips on your phone. You're only going to live stream through through YouTube and your personal Facebook page, and you don't mind, you know, and like the size of the microphone is the most important thing to you, and you really want to dial in some of the audio settings, then you get this one. But I ruined my review. So that's the review on the Shure Move Mic 2 versus the DJI wireless mic. And not sponsored by Shure, and I'm probably sure they're not going to want to after that review, because I'm also doing a review on some headphones of theirs that I actually really don't like. And so, man, it sounds like I'm going to be bashing them, but it's all done with love. And there are other products from them that I love, including this microphone here, including these in-ear monitors that I always wear. But yeah, I got to keep it honest that there's some good products and then there are some duds, and I'm going to tell you about a couple of the duds coming up here on my channel in just a little bit. So, okay, let's get back to actually what we were going to talk about. So, do we have any YouTube questions? Do we have any things like that in that realm that we want to discuss now that we're done with the technology portion of this? By the way, speaking of technology, I don't know if y'all noticed, I got my lights going. I finally set them up. I wasn't going to show up on another live stream without setting them up. So I have them set up. They're kind of supposed to be doing a rainbow thing. I am fighting everything inside of me to not unplug one of these, take it outside when it's dark, and do some sort of like reenactment of a lightsaber thing where I just insert some sounds and I start to look like, they don't sound like that, okay? But like way cooler at like night. I don't have any costumes that I can cosplay it, but I'm just like swinging all around. I would be afraid that I would break it because I'm a little clumsy, but I'm also overconfident in a bad way that I can like twist it around and make it look like a lightsaber. Vote down below if you think I should try and make a lightsaber video with it. Insert Star Wars sound. All right, what do you got, everyone? We are few but mighty, so this is going to be the time. Ask your questions, and we can chat. By the way, YouTube channel members, I don't know if you saw it, I did upload about a half an hour's worth because I recorded half of the conversation that I had with Sarah over at Breville about the history of coffee, espresso, and all that kind of stuff. So I just uploaded that as a channel member video in case anybody wants to see it. I know Brother Bruce commented on it, and I saw that someone else commented on it too. So if you're interested in the history of the coffee or the espresso machine that I was checking out, or listening to that story from Sarah, that is now a members only video. And you know what? I was watching today, not to toot my own horn, but for some reason I was looking at my presentation that I did about like the video matrix and like channel videos that any channel can make. The presentation that I did at DigimarCon, that was pretty good. So if you're also a channel member and you haven't looked at that yet, you may want to check that out because it's actually pretty good. All right, you see the rainbow effect? Yeah, I can make it go faster, but there's something weird about like if it's too fast or if it's too bright, then you can't see this sign, and it's like it's weird. So I'm still trying to dial in the settings exactly, but now that I have all my gear here, I just need to clean up this room a little so I can finally film my filming room tour that I've been saying that I'm going to record. So buddy, are you going to come in here and say hello, or are you just going to stay out there and hack up a lung? Breaking YouTube news, if you haven't seen it yet, from Creator Insider, they had recently put out a new video saying that the monetization and demonetization symbols and the ones with a yellow, they're finally starting to roll out some of the timestamps so you can actually understand at what point this violative content was found, so you can try and either use that as part of your appeal or try to understand what's actually being identified as something that would make it that you might not get monetized. So that is breaking news that just happened in the last week or so. What you did with Eliza's turn towards the wall, you know, I was thinking about that too. I've been doing a lot of like tinkering, I'll say, because there's like a stripe down the back where maybe some of the mechanics are, which is like white stripe, right? And there's nothing going on there. And so yes, if I turn the lights, it has to be a certain amount of distance away from the wall for it to have enough throw to kind of like light up everything. But it's also difficult to get that under wraps. Originally, I was almost thinking about mounting one on each side, one kind of tube, and so that the light would hopefully throw, and then I would be in the center of it, if that makes sense. But it hasn't quite worked out that way. And I also found that I can't just do them vertically. I had to take them off the stand, first of all, the little stand that they come with, to get this one over here, because otherwise it would jam up. It's too tall and runs into the boot. But this one, because of where the boots are, because they're off-centered and they start in a different position over here, I can't unless I like move all of these little glass plates the other direction. Even if I did, it may or may not be enough to get that thing in there. Plus I kind of like having the one horizontal to kind of light up in the back. So I don't want to get a third one because they're stupid expensive, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It makes a softer light, and mines are hidden behind the couch. Yeah. I think you have to have a certain amount of room and distance and everything, and I'm definitely dealing with a lot of space constraints over here. You should film. Do you have one, Pixelpia, on like your filming setup? I mean, I've kind of seen a little bit of your background, just like when we're on like not Zoom, but you know what I mean, like a live stream call or something, but just curious. You'll be pleased to hear that I finally made my delivery in Wichita, Kansas tonight. It took me 3 days from I didn't know it would only take 3 days to get that far. It seems like it would take longer. I am pleased to hear it. Congratulations. Congratulations. Fantastic news. Let's see here. Any other breaking YouTube news? Let me go to the... Let's talk about this. Move this over here. Your setup is in the corner of the TV room. All right. So it says playables are now on YouTube. Did you guys see that article too about Neil Mohan saying that basically they think that there should be a creator to win an Emmy? I don't think he's wrong about that either. So we have YouTube is the #1 streaming platform, and I believe they just got part of the NFL package, right? Which is pretty cool. Let's see here. One thing I would actually love to hear y'all's thoughts about this as you're also thinking about questions is that there has been a big resurgence in people enjoying, even though there's a large uptick of short form vertical video, there's been a big surge in people who are watching not only long form, but they're watching on larger screens like televisions. Like they're watching 45-minute video podcasts, you know, like hour-long live streams. They're watching long form content across a television, which is interesting because it's harder usually for people to swipe away when on television. You have to find the remote, so a lot of the time the watch time on televisions is considerably higher because people settle in and they like they're good to go, like they're parked on the couch and whatnot, and sometimes like learning things, and so they're really like in it, which means also the advertisers can not only serve like sometimes more ads but like longer ads, and it's interesting because they're not getting as distracted as they are on a phone or other type of device. So there's now this crowd of people that are designing for how is it going to be the best experience on a television, not so much even on a mobile device. So I found that to be a fascinating kind of genre shift, because in the past we found, 70-80% of watch time of YouTube period across all devices was always on a mobile device. Hi. Can we have a chat? Can we talk about this? I got one of them. So, everyone, this is baby Casey. She's here. She wants you to know it. And we'll see if we can get the other one up here. So, I think that's also really interesting and fascinating because no one seems to have any questions. So I'm just going to sit here and chat about the rise in other streaming platforms that are led by creators that are not YouTube. So what do I mean? I mean like The Watcher. I mean the Try Guys. I mean different services like that they're not just like going out to Patreon. They're starting brand new like streaming services. I saw Jessica Stansbury launched an app. So it's really interesting because now a lot of the people are getting, not just channel memberships, not just Patreon, they're getting money for streaming their own content, where it's just their content. I mean, different than like a Nebula or anything like that. It's just interesting because most people are maybe not that fanatical about so many different creators where they're going to go out and have like 50 different subscriptions, because as we talked about, we have a lot of people who are subscription out. They are feeling like way too many subscriptions, right? And so as more and more of these creators go out and create these things with like monthly recurring revenue, speaking of monthly recurring revenue and creators, I want to hear y'all's thoughts on Mr. Beast coming out with his own YouTube analytics type of service. So this is called, is it Tube Stats? Let me see if we can find what it is. It is called View Stats. Maybe it's View Stats. View Stats. So View Stats, it was recently kind of teased out over on Twitter. Mr. Beast is part of this. I don't know if it's all his or he has like whatever investors in it. But View Stats has basically these tools and analytics where you can maybe compare a couple of different channels against each other. You can, maybe get some information. So they're kind of entering this SaaS platform space like vidIQ is, like TubeBuddy is, like TubeSpanner or some of these others are. And hi. You guys, there's nothing I can do. He's old, okay? And he goes where he wants. And I'd have it no other way. Come here. Come here. If you're going to talk to everyone, then you might as well talk to everyone. Okay. He's here as well. He's also made an appearance, okay? So View Stats, what's interesting about it is there's a free level and then there's a $50 a month level, right? And what they're kind of promising is like, hey, we're gonna give you information like all the different thumbnail tests that this channel has run. Like, what were the outliers? So they're trying to dig into the analytics, like if you were Gwen, and actually bring back some of this information in a easy, digestible type of format, supposedly. And then trying to feed you this information so that you can use that data and analytics to make better decisions about your channel. So $50 a month for this new data and analytics service. Anyone have thoughts, questions, concerns, comments about this new service? Have you signed up for the free version? Have you heard about it? Are you interested? Are you not interested? Tell Cooper all of the details because he is curious to know. He says, I am a data fiend and I need to gather intel on what the people are doing. Are you going to be quiet? And if I put you down, are you going to be quiet or are you just going to continue to be like kind of like you are and hack up along? Can I hold your paws? You mad about it if I hold your paws? So anyone have thoughts? First time hearing about it? So they have a Chrome extension that you can download. Oh my gosh. Mommy's breathing hard. You're heavier than your sister. I mean, I don't mean anything by it, but you're heavier than your sister, okay? So, hi. We are talking about View Stats, which is the new data analytics company for YouTube from Mr. Beast that just got offered. So, can I put you down now? You're kind of heavy. If Mama's not sitting, I didn't realize how heavy you can be if I just have to hold you up, and I don't get to hold you up with my legs. Everyone, I'll cover your man bits here. Everyone say bye to Cooper. It's this one. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Heavy boy. Of course he starts. So there he goes. Mommy's trying to scream. So in the Pro Tools, what you get with that is going to be, you're going to be able to, like I said, track the video outliers inside of like these certain categories. Get notified by video alerts so you can set custom keywords and thresholds, which is kind of interesting because I think TubeBuddy has kind of a similar thing. But it says search thumbnails by URL and image. So I think that's kind of interesting. And then explore the A/B test. So I don't know how they're saying that, one, this is going to be different than the A/B test that YouTube has done, unless they're saying like you can look at all the data and analytics that other A/B tests are running, or they have some special deal with YouTube where anyone who's paying for this service is going to be able to access the A/B test and they'll be able to give you better analytics. I don't know. Yes, Terry, you've been a mod over here for a very long time. Like, I think back when I made you one on Twitch like 2 years ago, I think you've been one on YouTube as well. That's just how I roll. And then you can curate your videos and thumbnail prototypes into collections. So I think that's kind of like grouping, just a fancier way of saying grouping from YouTube Analytics, and then being able to see them like by thumbnail and stuff. So that's what you get in the pro version. Is that worth $50? Maybe if you're a really big channel and you don't have people looking into your data and analytics and you want the Cliff Note version of it, it might be, but I don't know. So there's that. That is new, coming out of Mr. Beast camp. So other comments, questions, concerns? You just heard about it yesterday. I did sign up for at least the extension. You know what I mean? Yeah. Congratulations to the Wrench Club as of a couple years ago. We're a little late on the initiations around here, but it's not my fault that you don't pop into YouTube. You only pop over on YouTube or on Twitch. That's fine. That's your prerogative. So I think it's interesting though, because like you want to help creators of all sizes, but you want to also like it's a big jump from the $0 to the $50. And I know in a time when I constantly see like sales and stuff from like TubeBuddy for the annual fees, for for creators under 1,000 subscribers, for or like having multi-level tiers, and at least a couple steps in between 0 and 50. Like it's an interesting model, and I wonder how many people just sign up strictly because it's Jimmy and they think that by buying a tool that he has put his name on, that they will get some of that success. You never know when you're on. What are you talking about? It's every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. for like the last 3 years. Just like every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. for the last 4 years. So I do try to keep the same hours, but I'm just giving you a hard time and just kidding with you. But yeah, if you haven't seen this, we can take a look at it here. This is the videos that get views over here. And this is what you get. So here, I'll show you the built for creators by creators. So I don't know what other creators are actually in on this, but you get the Chrome extension, and it says here, like, you have the outliers, and you can see these video alerts. So you can say, if it's a city, keyword passing over 100,000 views. Oh, with survived. Okay, interesting. So I think it's interesting if it does give you all the different thumbnails that had happened, or similar. That could almost be kind of an interesting thing, especially if you're something like a designer who is doing thumbnail design a lot of the time for other channels and such. So you can kind of come in here and take a look at it all in one place. That could be beneficial to you. It says custom keywords and thresholds. So I think we kind of talked about that a little bit. And then this is like that grouping thing. It says curate your video and thumbnail prototypes in these collections. Yeah. So that's what you get, is those video outlier searches, the A/B test, the thumbnail search, the video alerts, the save your collections, and it says more features coming. And I do wonder about that sometimes, because when you run into something that's like more features coming, I think one of the things that was always really interesting about like TubeBuddy, they would go in and they would have these features. And I think at one point they were like, we have over 150 tools or over 100 tools or something like that, right? And then what would end up happening is then YouTube would come along and implement something that was very, very similar. So all of a sudden the feature parity was kind of there, and you didn't really need to use the tool like that TubeBuddy, let's say, or vidIQ was providing, because YouTube then was making it natively. And then you'd see these companies have to go back and basically like deprecate these tools because YouTube had implemented something either superior or just like that would interfere, right? That would break their tool or something like that. And then I think at one point it had gone like from over 100 tools, and it was like, we counted them after a while, and it was like 60 tools are left or something like that. And I sometimes wonder, when you have something like this, whether it's vidIQ, TubeBuddy, anything like that, I worry, let's say, when you have thumbnail ABC testing coming from YouTube natively, if a lot of people obviously are going to jump ship from the highest tier level of TubeBuddy, which you're paying for the thumbnail AB or the title thumbnail or title AB testing, right? Which isn't true testing AB style, because it's not serving them simultaneously. It's serving them like sequentially after a 24-hour period, and then flip-flopping, right? And trying to collect and gather data. And so if you have this thing that is going to be rolled out eventually to everybody, then they don't need the other thing, right? So then you take a large chunk potentially of revenue away from that company who's not going to have it, because they're not going to have all these people paying $50 a month. I think they subsequently like lowered the price later. They're not going to pay all of this money. And sometimes you make the same money from fewer amount of people, because instead of, let's say, a $10 plan, right, where you have to have 5 times as many people buying it, you can have, you know, a tenth of that in this plan that costs 5 times as much, and you don't need as many people paying on the higher levels, right? That makes sense, right? Because like with any company, you're going to have, let's say, like 80% of the people who are using it are on the free level, and then you've got 10% on this next level, and then 5%. And then as each like graduation step goes up, you're going to, at some math number or equation, let's just say it's half. It's going to go from half what it was in this paying level tier 1 into half into the next level of paying tier. And so you take that highest tier that was paying the most amount of money, it's like chopping off a whole bunch of legs from this thing that was paying like a lesser amount. So when that happens and you don't have as much money coming in, and you don't have then as much profit, then you also start to see like, are we going to be laying off people? Are we going to be able to maintain the feature parity that we already have? Are we going to have to deprecate other features? Are we like not going to have innovation for new things? Or, you know, again, when you have something new that comes out from YouTube and it kills off one of your features that was a selling point, you lose people. So I don't know how this will help anyone that already is an analyst. Oh, that's not already an analytics freak. Yeah, I kind of feel like they're marketing like, hey, yeah, we have a free level, but who this is really going to help are like the people who, and I don't know how they're going to do it. If it's you pay per channel, or you pay and you can obviously then go out and like check as many channels as you want. If you're a data analytics or a YouTube strategist, or someone who's making, you know, I'm not going to say just good money, but like is working with all of the stuff, and you want access to other channels' data, if this is going to be one way for you to get a snapshot into a lot of their data, whether it's thumbnail tests or different things, because I don't know if it only, if this only ties to your own YouTube channel, and that's the only place that you get the deep dive analytics, which would make sense. And then you can go in and do some cursory surface level stuff that's available through the public API of like other channels, you know, like views, number of videos, blinks, but not at the channel level permissions that you need to probably go in and deep dive and scrape all the data you really want to go after those channels. And if it was probably smart, it would be tied to one channel at a time, so that you couldn't just go out there and like scrub the data for all of these different channels. So I could see them doing it as kind of like an individualized channel, like license type thing. And then, bye. Hopefully the coughing sound will be a little less, because he's exiting the building. He's exiting now. So I think he's, not just he, but I think one of the plays that they're going to have are someone who, like a Mario Jews, or, you know, some of the people that are like Patty Galloway, some of these people that really have their like fingers and toes into the data analytics of like these other channels, and are maybe like really well-known strategists. I could see them like buying up as many licenses as, you know, that they have permissions to get channels on. How much does a free version give? Not, it gives you some, you know what, here, let me show you. Let's go in here and I think one of the tools that you have access to, actually, let me come back. Let me sign into this. I know you can do a little bit of the comparison. So let me show you what that looks like. Yes, it's me signing in. Come on. Yes, it's me. Okay. So if I come over here and I say me and this web page, you can see it says Unlock Pro today, which means I'm on the free version, right? I'm not paying for it. So all of the different tools and such that are on the side, I don't know if you can see it yet, but they're kind of blanked out to kind of give you that FOMO, so you know that there's other stuff going on out here that you really wish you could see, like the alerts and the thumbnail tracking and the A/B test and all the stuff that we kind of chatted about before. Like it's all hanging out over here on the side, so you know. And like there's Mr. Beast front and center to be like, you should upgrade, right? So one of the things I think, let's see, where is it? Collection. If I hide this, if I go to viewstats.com, here, we can search any YouTube channel. So if we look for me, here's some channel analytics for y'all about me. So here's what you see. It'll tell you like some views, subscribers, estimated revenue. Let's see here. So pretty much just a lot of the public data I think that you can usually go in and scrape out. How many views per day, monthly views, monthly subscribers. So that's about it. If I say we do a compare, so they do have an option. You can put like some channel names in. So if I said myself versus, I'll say Jessica Stansberry. So myself versus Jessica. So we can see here some information. So it'll say some of it isn't updated and it has like NAs, even though obviously y'all know that there's data, it's just not getting it, right? So it'll say something like, it kind of looks like Social Blade. Yeah, it looks like a combination of like Social Blade and TubeBuddy and vidIQ, like all kind of smooshed together, because technically there's a compare scorecard inside of TubeBuddy.com as well. So, and you can compare more than a couple channels at a time too. So here's us, right? Like I'm in red and she's in blue, like way over here. Oh, except for this one time. What was this? Okay, there was one day. Go me, go me. One time in the last month, let's say, where I had a little bit more views than she did. But other than that, she whoops my butt every day. Every day. Every day, right? And then here's a little bit of like compare subscribers. So it's not a ton of information because, I mean, this just looks like public information that you can get just not doctored up, but like just presented in a pretty way. But let me show you that if you're looking at, let me go into my competitor scorecard, and I can show you what that looks like too. Sign in, yes. I'm gonna sign in. I'm gonna sign in. 1 second, I have to confirm. I'm working late. Let me sign in. It's just sitting there on the load page because I'm a singer. Oh, we look so good. It's just on the spinning wheel of death. Let me see if I can. Come on. Do it. Do it. And I got this one boy, and he won't stop calling. When he act this way, I know I got him. Okay, so let me get into here. And then let me see if I can find my competitors' scorecard. So let me bring this up and share this screen with you. So I think way back in the day, we had talked about, just some different people to add in as part of the competitor scorecard. So one thing here, it's going to generate the scorecard, but give me the option to have more than one. Look at how many broken images there. That's not cool. So it's thinking about this. It's going to go out and find the information for these channels, and then it's going to spit it back out. So here's one good thing, right? You can set up your competitor scorecard, and you can have more than one that you're going to compare. No luck involved. So there you go. There's a 50% off offer. Are you actually generating the scorecard? Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. This is real time, folks. Here we go. Here is my competitor scorecard. So here's one good thing for TubeBuddy right now we got going on is that we can compare more than one. I did bring back some broken images here. There's my friend Jessica Stansberry, but there she isn't with her photo. So lifetime views, lifetime subscribers, lifetime uploads. All right. So if one thing we could be like, wow, Think Media has done like, wow. Hundreds of, okay, it's gotta be more than that. So if we look at this, right, it's gonna say Think Media, 2.1. So it says Think Media has done 2,000 videos. I've done, you know what, we're closing in on almost 1,000 videos just because, Shorts really does that. But here's just some interesting facts, right? So we could be like, hey, this person has done 640, because you never know if someone is privated or, like unlisted, or because it's only going to count public ones, right? And be like, wow, 640 videos. They have 162 million views, and I have 3.1 million views. All right. Within an extra 1,000, let's say if I was doubled, that would put me at 6.2 million views, whereas Think Media is at 344 million views. I just think that's funny. So Tips with Trina, that seems like a better, like closer competitor, I guess you would say. 707 video uploads, 2.31 million lifetime views. So I'm on par kind of with that. I have a few more uploads, and then I've got a few more views, right? So interesting stuff. So 19.7 million views on TubeBuddy with 893. It also is giving you like the velocity of how much they're putting out per month. So here you can see it says like, around 3 to 4 videos a month or something. So it's taking the average, right? But in the last 30 days, here we go. If we look at this, who did we say? I said Trina, right? Is kind of on par with me. So if I look at Tips with Trina, so Tips with Trina is 399 views a day or something like that. And then 23 uploads. Oh, okay. So let's say 5 a week. And that's just pretty much like the live stream and then like some shorts, right? So there you go. There's something like that as a comparison, right? So, oh, geez, 52 pieces of content. Is that, wait, 52 uploads. Yeah, 52 uploads. So one of the things they're doing, they are putting out a lot of content. And I guess that's true. I'm seeing these like shorts, a ton of shorts. I know they're doing, Sean's a Opus Clip ambassador. And I know that they're doing a lot of these like short car ride answer questions things, which I think is like very Gary V. I feel like he's kind of like taking that route. And so just interesting stuff. And then if we take a look at this, I don't know if you guys are at all interested in this when I'm showing this to you, but I'm saying we went down the rabbit hole of view stats or whatnot. So I'm just showing you just another way to look at it, because this is also included if you are on a paid level of TubeBuddy, then you get this for free too. Where you can come in here and you can set all of this up so you can see the views per day. What happened here? Nick Nimmin had on May 17th minus like, is that right? Minus a million? No, minus 150,000 views. So he must have deleted or privated or unlisted some stuff, because you wouldn't usually have such a huge dip like that without having some sort of, because it's cumulative, right? So obviously he's getting views on the stuff that he currently also has out. So that number has to be overridden by the loss of that many views. Then it looks like he probably deleted some stuff. So over here, this would make sense. So Vanessa Lau, when she then came back and did her, I'm not on break from sabbatical, or, I'm not on sabbatical anymore and I'm back on social media. Looks like, she had a big jump where people probably thought like, I have no idea when she's ever coming back, so I'm unsubscribing, and they're like, oh, she's back. And so you can see kind of like some of the stuff that happened here. So here we go, uploads. Here we go, minus 175 uploads. So I wonder if he did some kind of experiment too. I could just imagine if, let's say, he had done like an experiment where he had like a whole bunch of shorts, and then he decided, you know what, I don't want any shorts on my channel, and he took them all off. And if it was something like shorts where he was getting a ton of views, that could also explain why there was a huge dip in the amount of views that he had on his channel as well. So, and then most recent uploads. I always find this section a little bit fascinating because when you're looking at this, you'd be like, when was the last time that they uploaded, right? So mine was May 28th. I am trying to occasionally not be so precious about like content, and just like if I find something helpful, just like putting it out there. So I responded in a comment to someone saying you can't edit vertical video on like an iPhone 15 in iMovie. So I was like, here's a clip that I recorded on iPhone 15, and you know, I twisted it like, which is the trick slash tip that I'm trying to talk about how you edit vertical video in iMovie iOS versions. And so like that, I just recorded it real quick and put it up. Because I was connecting my Google Pixel Buds to my iPhone, because I was letting my husband borrow my Galaxy Buds Pro, because that other video seems to still be doing pretty well. It's like 30,000 views now. Is that not crazy? So I recorded that video real quick. Even though the Pixel Buds are super duper old, I was like, here's how I did it. And it's still like a YouTube short. It's real. And I thought it was also an interesting experiment because the other one was like a widescreen video, a regular video, but it was under a minute. And it could have been a short. And I did this one as an actual short and not as a widescreen video. And it's not doing necessarily as well, but I was curious. It could be, you know, Galaxy Buds Pro or so much newer, but just curious in general how one would do as a short. I did that intentionally because I could have done it widescreen, but I wanted to see if I did one as a short and one as a regular widescreen, if it would have any impact. Just curious. So you can see like not only what was the last video that they did. Hi, Johnny Bean. Like what was the thumbnail that they used? How did it do in views, likes, and comments? I think this is fascinating because if you have a video that just came out and you have a ton of comments on it, sometimes if it happens to be people who are in your niche, like these niche neighbors, what if it was a topic that you were also thinking about making a video on? If you're like, wow, there's so many comments on it, you could go click on it. And then I think you can do that. Nope, you can't. But you can click on the name of the video and then you can go see the comments. And then sometimes, you know, some of the channels are going to have the liked comments the most at the top. So start looking at ones and then being like, what are the questions that aren't being answered, or what are the things and topics that keep coming up? And maybe that would influence about some of the points that you want to make in your own video. So if you're looking for either subject matter ideas or just like these missing holes and gaps in the information market of what people are trying to find out, if it's also something that you cover, that might be a good reason for you to take a look at the comment section of other videos, especially if they have something that's like, why won't anyone answer this question? Or what? And then, you know, when people are like, me too, I'm having this problem. There you go. So you can also kind of see, like, let's say TubeBuddy, they put out a short on May 24th. It only has, let's say, 874 views. So if they have a channel, which I think is, you know, somewhere 600,000-700,000 now, and it only got 874 views on this one or something like that. What could we infer from that? I'm not picking on them. I'm just saying, like, in general, sometimes it's like, was it algorithmic based? Was it title based? Was it topic based? Is there anything we can learn from that? And that means nothing because honestly, you know, they can always blow up later, like quickly. But if you have enough of these types of like insights as you start looking, you're like, is there anything? Are there patterns? Can we spot any patterns, right? So it's just kind of interesting. Or if you see something that was just uploaded, let's just say something uploaded very recently, but is doing really, really well. So here is a short. Daniel Batal uploaded this yesterday, and it's motion track any item to follow your footage in DaVinci Resolve. So that's a very SEO friendly type of title right there. It's talking about DaVinci Resolve, which I feel like I need the little Will Ferrell, like DaVinci Resolve is so hot right now. If you know, you know, right? And then, so if we have 7,000 views on this guy, which is pretty good for a YouTube short here, and already it seems to be well liked and there's a whole bunch of comments on it. So if we were to look at this and be like, interesting, what could we look at this? Because look, Justin over at Primal Video also released a short on the same day. It has, you know, like 1/8 of the views. My brain is going. Sorry, it means nothing. I'm thinking about this and I'm like, interesting. And then also like Catherine Manning also did I avoid postpartum hair loss? So that's an interesting like title, because a lot of the content she's made recently is I had a baby or something like that. And this was released yesterday and already has, right, 4,500 views. So this is interesting only because if I were to start looking for patterns, I might say, did I avoid postpartum hair loss is a question that might genuinely occur to you if you A, have recently or are going to be having a child and wondered if this is actually something. If you care about her, possibly, or if you're just generally a curious person and you saw this and you're like, I don't know, like, that could be intriguing. If you see something like top 3 AI video enhancers in 2024, it may not gather as much interest just because of the way that that's worded. I'm speculating here, but then you have something like that is very specific, right? The DaVinci Resolve thing and the specific type of special thing that could be oddly specific. So it's just interesting. If you guys see any patterns too, let me know. Interesting. How to deal with a negative audience. That was the one I saw of him in the car asking the question. And here's the thing is, this was not a short. I remember this specifically video because it was like a 2-minute video, something like that. So some of these that he's riding in a car, he's being asked these questions and he's holding a little mic as you do and riding along. So these video views though, one, it's obviously a very low production value in what he's giving. But if you ask, and it's part of his thing where he asks very specific questions and then provides a very specific answer, you might find that if you put out enough of these, that you're going to find a few that hit as well. What's this? He shoots, he scores, Florida Panthers 1, New York Rangers 1, second. Now I know. All right. Okay. So here's something interesting. So top AI video enhancers, how to enhance video quality with AI tools. So yeah, he's burying a little bit right here at the lead, and it might all come back to the same video. So interesting, because I wonder if all 3 of those that are in the short are from this video and it's just tying back to it. Or I wonder then if he would have, again, all speculation, if he had, instead of shoving all 3 of those tips into the same short, if he had teased out 3 different ones where he says, here is, 1 tip out of 3 in how to enhance video quality using AI tools. And here's like number 1. And then, he's like, for the rest of them, you can either watch this video or like, and linking to it, but you could have 3 chances to link back to the main video if you broke out into 3 separate individual shorts, each one as a standalone with a good tip about how to enhance audio quality using some sort of AI tool. So I'm not telling Justin what to do or what not to do. I'm just saying as a speculation that it could have also been a plan to try it that way. Just curious. And then have 3 videos linking back to the one main video that lists 3 videos inside of it, if that makes sense. So I'm going down a rabbit hole that maybe nobody cares about. So that's fine. I'm just going to come back over here to y'all. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. How's your mama? Sorry, I nerded out there for a second. I was in it, and then my brain was ticking along and thinking. So I'm going to go have dinner. Y'all had very few questions, so maybe next time I will put it as a community post, ask some questions, get some questions, and then I can at least go over them also during the live. And like I said, we could do some channel reviews, especially for channel members. I would like to do that. So if that sounds good to you, let me know. Appreciate you all. Mad love to everyone. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys and gals next week. Bye, y'all.